Have you ever needed help on a writing assignment? Have you ever struggled with editing a document? Have you tried to get a writing center appointment, but they were completely booked? Well, we have a solution for you.
The Texas A&M University Writing Center's main office is located on the second floor of Evans Library. They employ around 60 student tutors at any given time and serve thousands of undergraduate and graduate students each semester. They publish writing guides, host workshops, and work in many other ways to help students to improve their writing and speaking skills. Our Capstone team is working with the University Writing Center to improve their operations. One main service that the Writing Center offers is one-on-one consultations with a tutor. During this time, the tutor offers suggestions on a particular piece of writing that the client submitted, while also working to improve the client's overall writing and editing skills. The time that a client is face-to-face with the tutor is limited to a certain duration in order to give the tutor time in between appointments to write the follow-up notes for that student, take a break, and review the piece of writing submitted by their upcoming client. Clients can pre-book appointments by calling the office or through Cleopatra, the Writing Center's online server. Students can also walk in or call seeking a same-day appointment. These consultations can also be conducted in person, through a live web conference, or via online submission. Regardless of the booking method or chosen modality, all client appointments are booked into the same master schedule of tutor availability. The availability of appointments is limited by the number of tutors and by the Writing Center's operating hours. High demand and limited resources mean that students often have to wait a week or even more for an available appointment. To address this issue, we worked with the Writing Center to increase the number of students they serve each day by integrating short appointments into the tutor work schedule and appointment booking system. The Writing Center began trying to implement short, half-hour appointments on a trial basis in the fall of 2015. They did not advertise them or enable students to pre-book them online or by phone, but when students came in seeking a same-day consultation, the Writing Center would verbally offer the option of a short appointment. Through this pilot program, the Writing Center was able to determine that there is demand from the student body for shorter consultations with tutors, and they were able to gather some data about the average length of time spent with the client during a short appointment, and the effect this had on the tutor's overall work experience. They found that short appointments are feasible and wanted to move forward with more fully integrating them into their operation. Adding shorter consultations will increase the number of available appointments each day without having to hire more tutors or expand the Writing Center's open hours. However, the work experience of the tutors must also be taken into account as these changes are made. A standard long appointment consumes 60 minutes of a tutor's time, but only includes a maximum of 45 minutes face-to-face with the client. This allows the tutor at least 15 minutes to write their notes, take a break, and prepare for the next client. However, short appointments fill 30 minutes of a tutor's time with up to 25 minutes with the client, shortening their break time significantly. If a tutor works too many short appointments during their shift, and especially if they work too many back-to-back, they may become burnt out and their performance and work satisfaction will suffer. In order to develop a schedule that will maximize students served without overworking tutors, we first built a simulation of the Writing Center using Simio, a modeling software. We modeled a repeatable unit of 3 tutors and created entities with processing times that represent the time spent face-to-face with a client for either a short or long appointment, using data from Cleopatra. Long appointments last an average of 38 minutes and are cut off after 45 minutes, while short appointments have an average of 22 minutes and a maximum of 25 minutes. In order to test a proposed schedule, we used scheduled arrivals of alternating short and long entities in various patterns. There are 2 different entities which represent clients who have booked either a short or a long appointment. Here, clients with short appointments are color-coded yellow, while clients with long appointments are in green. Each entity arrives at the start of their appointment, as determined by the schedule that we generated and linked to Simio. As you can see, they spend time with the tutor, the duration of which is dictated by their assigned short or long distribution, and they then exit the system after no more than either 45 or 25 minutes. This leaves the tutor server with some unutilized time before their next scheduled appointment. We used Simio to track the number of entities served by each tutor on any one workday, which is 13 hours long. We also monitored the tutor's utilization, or the percentage of time during that shift that was actually spent face-to-face with a client. In order to randomize this process, we programmed a schedule generator in Microsoft Excel that creates a random order of short and long appointments for each tutor. This generator could be constrained to only allow a designated number of short appointments in a row. We therefore tested random schedules that were limited to no more than 2, 3, and 4 short appointments in a row for each tutor. By varying the order and the frequency with which short appointments occur, we were able to determine the tutor utilizations of each possible schedule. When deciding whether or not any given schedule is optimal, we looked at 2 key performance indicators: number of students served and tutor utilization. We compared the performance of a test schedule to the other schedules and also to the benchmark values that we found based on the Writing Center's existing operation. For a 13-hour standard workday, the Writing Center has been able to have 13 hour-long appointments, thereby serving 13 students per tutor each day. And since an average of 38 out of every 60 minutes of a tutor's time are spent face-to-face with each client, the baseline utilization we used was around 63%. We aimed to find a new schedule that would increase the number of students served per tutor per day, without increasing the tutor utilization too far beyond this benchmark value. We simulated a total of 130 randomly generated schedules. Each time, the procedure starts by generating a new random schedule in Excel. We set up Excel and Simio such that this table is automatically linked as an arrivals table, so all that needs to be done is to reset the model and run an experiment. The experiment runs one workday 10 times and averages the key performance indicators that we want to track. We looked at the number of students served by each tutor and the tutor utilizations. We tabulated those outputs and ranked schedules based on which ones offered the greatest number of appointments each day without overworking the tutors. We then chose a few of the best schedule options, formatted them graphically, and presented them to the Writing Center. Our main points of contact at the Writing Center were able to give us vital input on how the changes we were developing would impact different aspects of their system, so that we could craft an effective solution that could also be easily integrated into their existing operations. We needed to take into account not only how many clients they wanted to serve and how hard they are willing to work their tutors, but also the ability of the administrative workers to manage the schedule of booked appointments and the cost of the programming changes that would need to be made to Cleopatra. Using their feedback about their operating procedures and acceptable tutor utilizations, we developed 3 final schedule variations. The Writing Center uses a blank schedule as a template on which tutors sign up for their work hours for the semester, which in turn creates the schedule of appointments available at any given day and time. The 3 template variations will allow the Writing Center to easily make adjustments in the future if the implemented schedule turns out to be too easy or too hard for the tutors to manage. To help the Writing Center smoothly make these process changes, we also created an informational handout to help the tutors to understand the upcoming changes and the reasons behind them. We then made an example schedule in Cleopatra to help train the administrative workers, and we provided a list of recommendations for future projects and changes that the Writing Center could implement in order to improve their operation even further. The final tutor schedule template we created is already being used to set up the schedule for this fall semester, and our solution will be fully implemented in Cleopatra by the time that classes start in August. With this new schedule and booking system, the Writing Center will be able to serve up to 30% more students each day. We are glad that we have been able to help the University Writing Center better serve the students of Texas A&M. Special thanks to Dr. Candace Hastings and Mr. Thaddeus Bowerman of the University Writing Center for all their input and enthusiasm throughout this project.